that was a good one.
Yeah, back y'all. It's been a while. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro. It's all about getting out, riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. And as most of you know, I've been hurt. Got hurt in January and crashed on a hare and hound pretty good. And I got a couple pictures I'll put in there, but I've been on recovery. And then I rode last month on my birthday, and then I hurt myself again. So, anyways, we'll get into that. But here we are, South Lake at Lake Isabella. Gonna head up to the mountains here. And this is my first hard enduro or trail ride. Not really hard enduro, it's just a black diamond trail today. But first, legit trail ride since my injury back in January. Which, oh my gosh, it's been a while, and I've been dying to get back on Trixie here. So we're in for a good one today, as we always are. We're going up here, so you park here in South Lake, and we're going straight up into those mountains up there. It's a beautiful day, nice and cool. It's like high 50s when I was starting out here. I started about 3,000 feet, and we're gonna go all the way up to 7,000 feet, y'all, and it's gonna get cold. Yeah, squirrel. Almost ran over a squirrel a couple times today. But it's gonna get cold up there. And where those mountains are kissing those clouds, that's gonna get down to freezing. It's gonna turn into ice. And then it's actually gonna be snowing on me and a little bit like a light blizzard up there at top.
Take a look at the map.
It's been a while. I've been
here in a while.
Yeah, I haven't been here in a while. I've been here, I'd say 3 years ago. Got my trusty Onyx off-road app going there and my custom-built iPhone bag mounted on my handlebars right there. I love that, y'all. If you don't have some kind of setup like that, you need to get one because it just makes, especially when you're adventure kind of riding, you don't know exactly where you're going to go. It just makes it so easy. Look down at your phone. Keep you on track. This would be a good spot to come quail hunting too. A lot of quail up here.
Quail. I was just thinking on the way over here, it's a good spot.
Yeah, well, the quail season's not right now, but next winter, I'm going to be out here. This is good. This is all BLM here, so you can come hunt some quail out here. Quail are good eating. If you guys like dove, well, quail's like a whole next level. Juiciness is good. Anyways, just talk a little bit about my crash. A lot of you guys been writing me, asking how I'm doing and where I've been. So I appreciate all those comments there. It's really helped me out these past couple months.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it. Go left there, Georgie.
Yep.
Anyways, I was racing the Checkers Hare and Hound January 5th, and first loop about 37 miles in. If you guys race that Hare and Hound, they did a mass start, which was freaking awesome, and also super dangerous because there's no wind that day. You're in the desert and there's no freaking wind. That like never happens. So the dust was so bad it just hung right on the ribbon line. And I was doing really well. I had a really good start, and I got to this dry lake bed about mile 37, and it was just so silty, dusty. Yeah, more quail there. It's so silty, dusty. Ooh, here we go. Black diamond. But it was so silty and dusty. It's actually just dangerous. And I wasn't letting off. I signed up for the series this year. Last year I did really good. I got a couple races. I got on the podium. So I had goals of getting in the podium for the series this year for my age and my class. I do the kind of the 40Bs. And so I was signed up for the whole series. I was hoping to get on the podium at the end of the year. Thought that'd be really cool. So I was getting after it, y'all, and I was doing really good. I think based off of other people's times, I think I had a good chance of top 3 for that race. Anyways, mile 37, so dusty. I was getting around, going, kind of popping out to the outside, and a little dune, little berm just caught me, bucked me off of my bike, and I flew over the handlebars, and I just smashed into another little berm. I was probably the top end of a 3rd gear there, and I just full stop, hit the berm, and my buddy Dan, Grip and Rip It, he came up behind me, and he got a photo of me on the ground, and I was hurting pretty bad. Knocked the wind out of me, of course. He was trying to get around with me a little bit, and I just couldn't do it. It was hard to breathe. Then a course worker came up, put a little makeshift sling on me, and then I had to wait there about an hour for they had brought a side-by-side to come pick me up. They had a guy ride Trixie back. Her handlebars were all bent to hell. And I rode this side-by-side. I'd been sitting there an hour on my butt, and I thought my legs kind of fell asleep. It was a little difficult. Oh, come on, Trixie.
Flame out. First one.
First one of the day, but many more to come. Just not in the conditioning for it. But rode that side by side. It was bumper to hell. I knew I'd broken my collarbone. I'd broken my collarbone before. Actually, 2 times before. One time snowboarding, and then another time playing football. So I just knew what that kind of felt like. And I was like, the whole way back to side by side, it's going slow, but it's just bouncing around. I had to hold my shoulder, and it just was not having it. It was hurting the whole way back. Anyways, got back to the rig, and the crew from Checkers was there to help put my rig up. I had my side by side, had my awning up, and toolboxes. And the way I park everything inside that rig of mine, it's a tight fit, y'all. Like, it's right on the money. Anyways, they helped pack it up. When I got back on the side-by-side, my wife came over, and she's all hop up in the trailer to, because I was still all
safety wired on there.
Yeah, my rear master cylinder is broken off, and I just have it safety wired on the bike. I'll show you later. It's just safety wire holding it on. That's it, and it's still working good. But anyways, my wife's all get up in the rig, take a shower, get you all cleaned up. It was all dusty and dirty from the race. And the guy was there. He's all, man, I broke my leg and my pelvis after a race. And when I got back, I just went straight to the truck and sat there. So he recommended me doing that. And I started, I was like, this guy's crazy. I'm not going to do that. But I took a couple steps, and it was really painful. It hurt to walk. And I looked at going up the stairs and just knowing how to get back down. I looked at my truck, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go sit in the truck. So I told my wife, hey, babe, I'm just going to go sit in the truck. These guys are going to wrap everything up for us. So that's exactly what happened. Then we had a 6-hour drive back home. I thought about going to a hospital. But as I sat there, I took some Advil, and as I sat there, my pain level actually went down, and I really didn't feel that bad. I'd say it was like a level 3, and got all the way back home, and nice little switchback going on. This is a climb, so when you come up here to South Lake and go up this trail, it's almost like a mile uphill, and it takes way longer to keep flaming out all the time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you're out of shape there, buddy. You need to get your butt in shape. Yeah, let's talk about my new handlebars. I do the Pro Taper YZ high bend bars, and they weren't high bend anymore. They were the low bend bars. And so I got some new bars from my buddy Nate, who's a distributor through Rocky Mountain. And you can see how just bent they were. They were the low bend bars. And so check it out. Alright, we got the old bars and new bars. This is the right side. You can see that one's down. New bar a little bit higher. Not so bad on the right side, but you can see how this it goes up. The older bar is down, but this side is real bad. That's the old bar, that's the new one. You can see how much that one goes down. Yeesh. Yeesh. Man, that was a big difference in old bars versus new bars. How many guys are riding? Oh, look at that squirrel. Earl, how many guys are just used to riding with bent bars now? You know, until you get that new set on there, you really don't know how much they're bent, but oh, it feels so nice. I got the new setup.
I almost lost.
Yeah, don't lose it. Yeah, don't wash that front end over. Climbing up in altitude, y'all. You can see those clouds kissing those mountains up there. It's getting closer. And once I get up there, the temperature it drops dramatically. I mean, I think it dropped 30 degrees. As soon as I hit those clouds, it got damn cold. All right, switch back here. Aim with the rear. Yeah, flame out. Yeah. I'm blaming those flame outs today on just being out of shape. I normally don't flame out nearly this much, but always aim with the rear. And whenever you go over an obstacle, you got to get that rear tire up as high as you can. You know, just don't worry about that front end. Get that rear end up there, and then you can always pivot that front end over. Back to crash. So I get home and I get out of the car. Like, I've been riding for 6 hours, not moving around that much, having some Advil, and I really didn't feel that bad. But when I got out of the truck, I could barely walk. And so my dad, who lives across the field from me, I said, Dad, take a video of me walking. Like, this is nuts. I can barely move my legs. So he took a video, and you guys seen it, but here's that video again. You can see, folks, this is no joke. This is the real deal. This was so painful to walk right through the growing area. It's my new pimp walk after a hard day of racing. And I sent this to my buddy Nate, who I just talked about. And then he went online and just kind of wrote in my symptoms and all that. And then he sends me a screenshot back of what he found out. And it said I had a fractured pelvis. And I was like, what? That sounds really bad. You know, I didn't, it started concerning me there about having a fractured pelvis. So I was like, oh man, I should go to the hospital, because I wasn't going to go that day. I was going to go the next day, because I knew my collarbone was broken. I knew that. And which, when you got a broken collarbone, they can either do nothing or they have to pin it, you know. So they got to get screws in there and shave it off, do all that. But I was like, I can still wait for tomorrow, because you never want to go to the hospital, the ER, at 10 o'clock at night, because it's all full of nasty people in there that are sick and coughing, and babies are crying and all that. And I was like, I'd rather just wait till the morning and sleep in my own bed. But having a fractured pelvis kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I should just go to the hospital right now. And then also my buddy Vince, who I was texting on the way home, which a shout out to his son Cole Clarkson. He's been crushing it for the bees in hard enduro this year. He's won I think 4 races. He won King of the Motos, he won Hawaii, he won Grinding Stone, and then I think he just got 4th because he had a little bit of trouble on his bike at Moab. But he's doing so good. I'm so proud of him. Anyways, Vince was like, you know, I had a buddy that crashed hard and didn't think anything was wrong, and then he found out he had internal bleeding. So I had Vince and Nate telling me to go to the hospital. Of course, my wife told me to go to the hospital. Everyone actually was telling me to go to the hospital, but I don't want to go to the hospital at 10 o'clock at night, because I've been there in the ER. It's the worst. Like, our hospitals at 10 o'clock at night are...
what a nice day for riding.
Oh, it's so nice. The last place you ever want to be. Look at this view, y'all. There's Lake Isabella. Some clouds.
Beauty.
It's nice. The temperatures are in those high 50s, and I'm still having a great time. Great ride. After all these injuries and everything, this has just been a fantastic ride. Like I said, it just rained the day before, so the dirt here, no dust at all. It's that hero dirt y'all want to ride. You know, you always want to go ride right after rain. Get up in those mountains and go for a ride. It's just so nice. If you had a big group, I'm riding solo, of course, but if you had a big group, this is exactly when you want to go riding. There's no dust. You know, when you ride back of the pack, it's the worst. You just eat dust the whole ride. back to the crash though. All right, so I'm going on my way to the hospital now, and I am a veteran, so I always like going to the VA hospital first, because if you're gonna go to anywhere first, try to go to the VA if you're a veteran, because there is no line. VA doesn't take in all the homeless people, all the people off the streets, and all the sick people and all that kind of stuff. It only takes veterans. So when you get in there, it took me an hour. So by the time I crashed, it was an hour. Got to the rig, loaded up, another probably 40 minutes, and then another 6-hour drive home. Wife did all the drive. I was really impressed, actually. I should have brought that up. My wife, bless her heart, that was the first time she drove the truck with the rig behind it. 6 hours of her driving. I was really impressed. She did such a good job. I'm like, you should do this all the time. I always do all the driving. She could be doing this stuff. And anyways, got to the VA. The VA has no line, so I go straight in. I get out of the car. Now my wife stayed home with the kids, and then my dad, who came over, he lives across the field from me, and he took me up to the VA. He's a veteran as well. He was in the Air Force. I was in the Marine Corps. But they literally, you drop off kind of where the ambulances drop you off. You go straight in, and I saw a doctor within 1 minute. Like, yeah, I already talked about that, dummy. So, yeah, he did. I saw a doctor within 60 seconds of going inside the doors of the VA. I mean, that's how quick it was. And I love going to the VA. I think VA gets
front brake needs to be.
Yeah, I got the new handlebars, the brake setup. My front brake, it's just a little bit too far out. So my finger's a little too far extended. I like to have it a little bit tighter. Anyways, saw the doctor, and they're like, all right, we gotta get you some x-rays. You go into the x-rays, you do the CAT scan, you know that tube, you lay in a little bed and they go in and out of the tube and it spins around, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, my right shoulder hurt so bad, and the bed was too small, and so my right arm, I had to grab my pant leg because there was no, I couldn't rest it on the bed. And at first, he's all, can you put it above your head? And I'm like, nah, bro, I can't, like, it's broke. I cannot move this arm. And like, are you sure? Can't put it above your, I'm like, no, it is, I know it's broke. I'm not putting it above my head. It is staying down my side. Like, all right, so anyways, do the x-rays, and I get back, and they're like, they come back, and I'm expecting them to talk about my shoulder, because that was what was hurting, it was my shoulder. They get back, and like, you have a punctured lung. And you got broken ribs, you have a broken pelvis, and yeah, your collarbone's broken. I was like, holy crap! I have no idea. All of a sudden, all this talk, like Vince telling me that his buddy, it's so beautiful through here. Look at this, folks. This is great riding. This is a Black Diamond trail, but it's an easy Black Diamond. Beautiful. If you're gonna get out and ride, make sure you get out and ride in the springtime here, because it does get hotter and balls up in here later in the summer. But beautiful spring riding is Lake Isabella area. I call it South Lake because that's the little city area you launch out of.
Big old rut.
Yeah, very rutted out here. Not that bad though. Anyways, I had all these things where I had no idea. I had fractured pelvis, I had 6 broken ribs, I had a punctured lung, and then my collarbone is broke, plus I've tore my delt and tore my trap muscle. There's a whole bunch of stuff wrong with me, and I had no idea. I thought I just broke my collarbone the whole time. I was like, man, and well, I was concerned with Nate sending me that Google fractured pelvis. So I was like, oh man, I'm glad it came in. So right away, he's like, we gotta inflate that lung. Your lungs collapse, so we gotta inflate it back up there. It's got a bunch of fluid building up, and it's collapsing. So Doc said he could do it there, or he could send me on to a community hospital. And I was like, if you can do it here, because I know what it's gonna be like at community. It's gonna be a shit show. Oh, nice little climb. It's so beautiful. Nice ride up here, y'all. This is such a fun ride. I'm so glad this is kind of my first hard ride from my injury. Anyways, the doc's like, I can do it. I'm like, all right, get her done. And then he said, well, the hardest stuff we have here is morphine. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, that's pretty strong stuff. Go for it. Just do what you got to do. That's what I kept saying. Just get her done. Anyways, they put me in there. they got to fill your ribs, and I had 6 broken ribs. And he's like, I got to push on the rib. I got to find the rib. So he's pushing on my ribs, which were extremely sensitive now that I knew they were broken. It's like, oh, look at these flowers, y'all. This is so pretty up here. These yellow flowers. Beautiful. And he's like, I got to put a tube through your ribs over to where the lung is, and we're going to drain out that fluid. Anyways, he stuck it in there, and it was the most pain I've ever felt in my life. I'm a very grown man. I am very tough, and I had to grip my teeth as hard as I could. That was extreme 10-level pain. He put that big needle. They put some lidocaine in there. Oh, here's a new section, y'all. Yeah, I'm feeling good. So I've been to the right. I have not been this way. This is a new way. Hey, look at the clouds. We're getting close to that cloud line, y'all. So pretty. Look at that. Beautiful. They stuck that needle. They did deaden it with some lidocaine, but that just gets like surface level there. They stuck that needle in, which is about the size of your finger, and that expands, it stretches out your ribs. And that, I mean, telling you, that's blackout pain right there. And I gritted my teeth.
Rush to the head.
I mean, it's like sticking a knife through the ribs. It hurt bad. Anyways, they put it in there, and then they had to come back, do some x-rays. And they missed. They actually stabbed my liver. So when he went with the needle, went too low and didn't get my lung, and he stabbed me in the liver. So he poked my liver, and I said, we're going to have to redo it, or we can send you on to the community. So I said, you know what, just send me on to the community. He said, no problem. Which is nice, because I got an ambulance ride to the community hospital that was about about a mile away, and they radioed in, veteran coming in. I got VIP treatment. They got me in right away. So I'm at community hospital now in Fresno, downtown Fresno, and their doctors come in. I have to do the same all the X-rays I just did at VA. Had to do them all over again. Which, same thing, they wanted me to raise my arm up above my head. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. And the doc comes, he said, yeah, they messed up at VA. They went too low. They stabbed you in the liver. I'm like, oh, yeah. they told me they messed up. That's why they sent me over here. He said, yeah, we're going to go 2 ribs up, and we're going to put a much bigger needle in there, and it's going to hurt a lot. And I'm like, oh, my God, all right, just get it, do what you got to do. Like, I don't want to die here on the table. Just get that lung inflated. I don't care. I know it's gonna hurt, but I'm telling you, I can take it anyways. And then he said, we got harder drugs and morphine, because I said that's all they had over there. He's all, we got harder stuff than that. And I'm like, all right. Anyways, they get me all lined up. They get the tube. And of course he's training. Whenever you go to the hospital, they're always training the new guy. So he got the doc, but we always just want the pro, the doctor. Just do it yourself, man. And nope, he's got to train somebody. So he's got this person there. He's walking them through how he builds the ribs. Oh, misship there. Come on, Georgie. What are you doing? Too many zigs and zags on this uphill climb. So, another fork in the road, y'all.
Okay.
Where do we go? Left or right? You can see that cloud line. It's really close now. I'm like, all right, let's get it. I think I lied to y'all before. I haven't been to this section. The last little part I did go on, but this is new. Never been on this, and you can see it's a lot less travel here. The trail's not that wide. But the doc stick the needle in, well, his assistant is sticking the needle in, and it hurts like the dickens. I mean, it hurts so bad. And they have an anesthesiologist there, and he's like, just let me put him under. I got the gas ready. I'll put him under. And the doc's like, no, we got him on fentanyl. Give him, it's like 100 milligrams of fentanyl, whatever it is. And fentanyl, if morphine is strong, fentanyl is like nuclear. Like fentanyl is what I say. You've heard the bad stuff about fentanyl, y'all. It is so powerful, and it took the pain that was a 10, it took it down to like a 2. I can still feel it, but it was it was very manageable. And I don't. That fentanyl is strong stuff, y'all. Look at this. We're getting up here. We're getting up to that cloud line. And the temperature, I'm telling you, it dropped 30 degrees. I was not prepared today.
Nice climb, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, nice zigzaggy climb. Just Trixie, loving it. Look at this ice on the bushes there. Everything's wet at this point. So my arms keep brushing all this brush out here. And my arms are wet. But look at the ice all built up. And that is frozen. So I just started about 57 degrees. I think that's the temperature was when I left riding the bike. And now we're easily in the 20s at this point. And then it's going to drop a little bit more the higher we get. And nice little switch back there. And my left hand is getting cold. And look at this. Look at my middle finger in my left hand. Yeah, it's got a little tear in that finger. That's letting in all the cold air. I wear the gauntlet style gloves, y'all, and that keeps my hands really warm.
Goggles up, can't see nothing.
Yeah, and my goggles getting fogged up. It's getting hard to see. This temperature change is messing with me. Now, they just raced the Virginia City Grand Prix, which I've raced that several times in the past. And they had a snowstorm recently, so the whole race was a kind of a muddy, snowy, frozen mess. And it looked miserable. That fun kind of miserable. I've always wanted to do a muddy, just wet, just nasty dirt bike race, either a hard enduro or something. And I kind of missed it. I was like, man, that would have been awesome to be at Virginia City.
Oh, ice down the back of the neck.
Yeah, that got me there. You head down on there, ice just went right down my neck. Yeah, all that ice just built up on the bushes right down the neck there. It's cold, y'all. Anyways, I got this chest tube in my chest. Getting back to this. It's taking forever for me to tell a story. I got this chest tube in my chest, and it is in there like 12 inches. They pulled it out, and I was like, I want to know how far it was in. They showed me. I was like, oh my God, that was all up in there. But it worked, and then they had me breathing. They had this breathing tube. I had to keep breathing into it, and it tests the volume that you can breathe. Anyways, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. This thing you breathe into, and you got to float this little thing within this range. And when I first started, I could breathe for like half a second. It's like that I mean, it was nothing. But look at all the snow's building up. And by the end, I could top that thing out. I got pretty big lungs. I used to swim all the time. I got some big old lungs on me, but took me a while to get my lung capacity back up. You know what I just realized? I'm out of whiskey, y'all. I've been drinking a 21-year-old Black Bull Scotch, and it is so delicious. It's 50% alcohol there, but that 21 years aged in oak barrels, it's been mellowed out and smooth. I got it on the rocks, and I need another glass. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video, but it is delicious. It's one of my favorite ones. Actually, I stole it from my brother, and it's almost gone, so I hope he doesn't realize. I come over there sometimes, and he's like, it's anything you want. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. It's 21-year Black Bull. Yeah, it's a good one, y'all. All right, we got some.
Little obstacle,
Yeah, little obstacle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're gonna put Black Diamond on the trailhead, it needs some obstacles, because otherwise, single track, no obstacles. That's blue.
You gotta be kidding me. I didn't.
You're looking like an amateur though right now, Georgia. Come on, you gotta get there. You're not even doing your 511 special. I'm running my race tire, my Hare and Hound tires. It's got the 525 cheater, and then I have a moose back there. It's a plushie, but it's not drilled out. And there's a big difference. My hard enduro style setup, I have a drilled out moose, and then I'll use a super soft gummy tire, and it is noticeably different on the traction. But it's getting it done today. I knew it wasn't going to be that hard of a ride today. I I mean, it's black diamond. It's not a hard black diamond. This tire actually worked out pretty dang good for this trail. I'm just so out of shape. Look at all the ice. I mean, it's cold. All right, I got a little rock section coming up here. Yeah, what you gonna do about it there, Georgie? Real narrow, tight little gap through there. Placed the bike where I wanted, and then I had to move my feet. Otherwise, I didn't want to pinch my feet in there. Get on up, and then up ahead of me, the camera's flattening out, but it is pretty steep. If I can't get up there, come on. 525 cheater, let's go. So then I got to pivot left here, and I got to place the bike where I want it. And so I kind of do the 511 special right now. I'm going to wait back, but there's a rock. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I get my left foot on the peg, and I'm going to push off my right foot a little bit there. There we go. Tractor's on up, no problem.
Got her done.
Got her done. I was thinking maybe it's so cold that rubber there gets cold and then it gets harder, you know? So maybe that was kind of the deal. I can't imagine those guys racing in Virginia City in those icy conditions they had. I mean, it was a mud fest. I watched a couple videos. People were not going anywhere. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
I wish I was there because I like that kind of stuff. I like the struggle.
My fingers really got cold.
Yeah, my left fingers, my middle finger, my ring finger, my little pointer finger getting really cold there in my left hand. And so I'm going to stop up here and I'm just going to grab my exhaust pipe, heat them up.
Windy on this side.
Yeah, it's a little windy through here too. It's like Frozen, the little Disney Frozen. I got a little 1-year-old girl and she really likes Frozen right now, so I've been watching Frozen over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know how it is. They got their favorite movies. Moana's my number one. I could watch Moana 1,000 times. I still love Moana. They got Moana 2 out, which is just as good. Moana 1's the best though, and then I think Frozen's the second place there. And then Tangled. I'm watching all these girl Disney movies. You know, you got little girls. You gotta watch what they like. Look how pretty it is through here. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's just an awesome day to ride. I wasn't expecting it, but I'll take it, y'all. This is just beautiful. We're about, I don't know, a little less than halfway through the ride today as far as the hill climb. We still got some altitude to go up, which is hard to believe because we've gone up in altitude quite a bit. So just a whole bunch of zigging and zagging through here. Now, I got my goggles off because they're getting so fogged up I can't see. And
I'm going to put my fingers on the exhaust.
Yeah, I already talked about that. Yeah, you pull over and put your fingers on the exhaust. Heat those suckers up. You can't ride, especially that's your clutch finger there. You gotta warm them up. This worked out pretty good. It's a pro tip of the day. You got cold hands, just grab your exhaust pipe.
Warming up the fingers. Fingers are ice cold. Because I got an opening. I need some new gloves. That was good.
Yeah, it warmed them up pretty good. I'm glad I did that because that really helped out. My fingers were getting cold and now they warmed up pretty good, and then that heat kind of lasts on the gloves too. Because I wear the big heavy leather gauntlet street style gloves, and so that leather gets warm in there, it lasts a while. Same thing when it gets cold though, it does last a while. Well, I got a hole in the finger and that wasn't helping out at all. It's letting in all that cold air, all the hot air is going out.
Sleet, snow or something.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to sleet, snow on me a little bit. And so I got my goggles up, it's hit me in the face. And I bring that up because I'm gonna regret having my goggles up, and I'm gonna get hit in the face. Well, the first time I got hit was not that bad, but then I ride up a little bit more and I really get whacked in the face. And you'll see when that happens what it did to me. It was no joke.
shit. Ah. Slippery.
Yeah, it's real muddy, kind of slippery up here,
It's
and
a classic move.
hit the brake there, and it just kept on going, went straight in, darted right into the bush. Trixie, she loves darting right into things, you know, rocks, logs, bushes, rock, whatever it is. She always aims for it. It's not me, it's Trixie. She aims for it every time. Got some trees. Starting to getting up into the tree line up in here. So I really like this area of Lake Isabella because you start low altitude, depending on where you start, it's anywhere from 2,000 feet to 3,000 feet, and where it's kind of a low brush kind of stuff, you can ride all the way up to the 7,000 foot mark, and you'll get straight into all the pine trees. Now coming up here, there's a split. You go left, right there. It went left. That little peak. That is the way back. Yeah, so when I come back, we're gonna go up here for a ways, and then and then I'll come back. And I'll go take a right, and I'll go up that other trail there. Make a nice little loop. What did I do? Like 26 miles today. Wasn't too hard. Hey, ribbon line. It's ribbon out here. I always thought it'd be fun to have like a cross-country race up in here. So I do a lot of desert racing, but it'd be nice to have a mountain kind of cross-country race. Now I have my goggles up, and I told you I was gonna get whacked in the face. So this is number one coming up right here.
To the face.
Yeah, to the face. Now, where the camera is, I got on the chin mount, so it's a little lower. So where I get whacked, you know, it's a little bit higher than where the camera can see. But that got me not that bad. It got whacked, but what's going so? Ooh, nice little rock ledge there. Not hard.
Get that on the way back.
But coming up in about half a mile, I'm gonna get whacked so hard to the face, it leaves a welt. It draws some blood. And I'm gonna have to start putting my goggles down and being a lot more careful, because I was riding at Rincon one time. Rincon's one of my favorite trails, and I got a stick or something, hit my eyeball, and I thought I lost my eyeball. It hurt so bad, I thought my eyeball got poked out. And I've always said goggles down, but I can't see, so it's a trade-off. Because the goggles get so dude up. I have a rag there in my little handlebar mount bag, and I'm gonna have to put them on. And when I can't see, I gotta stop and then rag them off. So, but I gotta get whacked one good time here, and you'll see. Going through the trees, y'all. This is so pretty up through here. It starts snowing on me, and you'll see it go past the camera. It's real muddy through the trail here, and it's icy. And I'm not trusting my tires. And this is my first trail ride since the crash, and I'll take that back. So last month I did go riding for my birthday with Dan, with Rippin' and Rippin'. We went out to Spangler, and there's where we parked by where they call it football field, and there's a little hill climb there, and I was doing a little hill climb, and I fell backwards, and I broke a rib on my lower rib on my left-hand side. That was a dip. And so I've just recovered from that. So it's been a battle getting recovered from the crash since January. And then I kind of went out a little too soon, but it was my birthday, and I was feeling all right. Whoops! Gotta have some whoops. And I did crack a rib on my left side, and I think that was just because I had no conditioning, which I'm not saying I have much conditioning now, but my main injuries are much more healed. But yeah, I fell back, and I thought I just tore a muscle, but it is cracked a rib on my left hand side, so I was out a whole nother month. Oh, big dip right there. Out a whole nother month recovering for my left side lower rib, which is the opposite of what I hurt when I crashed back in January anyways. Which I haven't finished that story. I'll finish it up, but we're riding some good terrain here, and I like talking about the ride. You know what I didn't do this ride? I didn't have a can with me, the cash can. Which I'm gonna start doing that every ride. I did a couple rides last
Where am I
year.
going?
Yeah, where am I going? I gotta check. Every once in a while, I just stop.
Oh, let's go way up there.
Look at the map. Make sure I'm not just going off in the middle of nowhere here. I'm getting lost. Look at that. How handy is that? I got my rack there. Wipe the goggles down. Yeah. Grunting there. You sound like a bear. Alright, we're gonna go up here, and I see a little line to the left. It says, and I saw it crossing some logs, but that's just a game trail line right there. There's no bikers going this way. It's just some deer or something like that. But I love practicing on logs. I was thinking the Donner Hard Enduro. Donner has the logs in it. So when you do the Donner Hard Enduro, they have some log fields that you got to get over. They just had Battle of the Goats in North Carolina, and they had a pretty gnarly little enduro cross section to the beginning of the race. So you got to practice your logs, you know. Don't be afraid. You see a fallen tree or whatever, get some practice on. Yeah, I'm just on a game trail now. That's what I realized. I'm like, get it back up to the main line up here. But never underestimate a log. I don't care how small it is. Don't take it for granted. Watch this. almost see shit right there. That little log was slick, and that threw my back end way over. Yeah, never underestimate a log. Even how
almost every time.
So I'm coming in. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna ride right over that. But you gotta be prepared. That log can kick you out so easily. So always be prepared. Cross the log. Give it your full attention. That's what I'm saying. Don't underestimate it. Going up this little canyon here, the little creek crisscrossing over, is kind of cool. Some water in it. Like, I hope it's not too deep. Nah, it's not too deep. I start riding up here. I got my goggles down, so I just wiped them off with the rack there. But they start doing up, and I'm starting to lose vision. I'm like 50% vision right now. I just barely see out of the goggles. So back to my recovery story. So I'm in the hospital. They put the chest tube in there. My lung gets good, and a couple buddies of mine come see me in the hospital. I'm there for 5 days into the hospital, and I have a broken pelvis, but they say it's weight buried. So they gave me a crutch, and my physical therapist said you need to be walking on it. So don't. So he forced me to use the bathroom. Like, yeah, I didn't do the bedside bathroom. He forced me to get up and walk through the hallways, and at first it was really painful, but then I just did it anyways, and got through it and got sent home, and a really nice homecoming. My wife stayed home with the kids for the 5 days. She did come and see me a couple times, but it was nice finally getting back to the family after a week being gone. So here's that, me coming back.
Oh, you're walking almost normal.
Good.
It's always good seeing your kids. Get home, first thing my son tells me is you got a mouse in the mouse trap.
Let's open the gate. Let's open the gate. Grandma, be careful. Here, baby girl. Hi. Careful, careful.
Yeah, so that was real nice coming back. They were all happy to see me. Did you just hear me though? I said my goggles fogging up.
This building is like 50% right now.
Yeah, well, your goggles are fogged up, dummy. I wonder if they make like a spray or a gel. I know when I swam, we used to spit in our goggles, and that would kind of help them from fogging up. I wonder if there's something I could put on there, and I just need to look into it. I mean, I was not prepared for this conditions riding today. Which is bad. Okay, I pull over.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. I can't see. Flip the goggles backwards.
Can't
I
see
got
where I'm
those
going.
quick straps. The only guy wearing quick straps. Goggles are up. Famous last words. Goggles are up. But we're going through Manzanita. And Manzanita doesn't play around. It don't care. It will rip your face off if it has a chance. So I'm got my goggles up. Feeling good though. I mean, it's such a beautiful ride here. The dirt right now is just getting a lot of traction. And it's such a nice ride. This is the level of riding I want to be at. But look, it's starting to get really rushed through here. This is where I should have put my goggles down. At this point, goggles down.
Watch out. Bush to the eye.
Yeah, and I even talked about, I'm like, oh, gotta watch out, bush to the eye. I'm even talking about it. I told myself, be careful. Be careful, Georgie. You're gonna get a stick to the face. It's gonna rip your eyeball out. That's what it's gonna do. But I just keep on going like an idiot. Just keep on going. So there it is. It's coming up. Watch this. This is gonna grab me right in the face.
Oh! Wow. Yeah, got pushed to the face. That one hurt.
It did hurt. That hurt a lot. Look at that
I'm
thing.
glad I closed my eye though. Man, that was almost really bad.
That was
This washes off.
That was close to losing your eyeball, as you're gonna get right there. And that was a bad little
That's gonna leave a welt.
stick to the face.
Whew.
It's been
I was riding a Rincon one time and
5 or 4 days,
Took
and
a-
my face still hurts. Like it's still sore where I got
took
hit
a stick
in
to
the
the
cheek there.
eyeball and I thought I lost my eye. It hurt so bad.
Yeah, everybody told that story, buddy. Everyone
That
knows.
was close. That whipped me.
Anyways, yeah, goggles down. Ain't gonna ride this low brush stuff. Goggles down. You never know when to get a stick to the face and take out your eyeball. Yeah, you just gotta be smart. I say it all the time. But ride smarter. Harder, not smarter. No, smarter, not harder. There you go.
Left to right, folks. Left to right.
Yeah, left to right. Let's go. Uphill. Got to get around that big old boulder. So I'm going to split these little boulders right there. Get that front wheel up and over. Always get that rear tire to the spot you want to go. Just don't aim with the front. You got to get that rear tire up to the spot where you want to go. A couple years ago, I was riding out here, and I call it the abandoned trail. It's where my first legit abandoned trail I've ever ridden on. Where the trail was, it's on the map. It was on X off-road map, but there, like, and the trail was there. You could see it. But there'd be a full-grown manzanita.
Oh, I'm so glad I had my.
Oh, I took another.
Eyeball right there.
I know. I took another branch to the face, but my goggles are down, y'all. So no harm, no foul. But they did their job. That's why you wear goggles. But the trail was legit forgotten about, and they got full-grown bushes and everything right through the middle of the trail, and so you had to constantly go around trails left and right. Anyways, it was one of the hardest things. I call it the Cow Creek Trail because I ran out of water, so overheated, and I literally had to drink out of the cow stream, which there was cows above me when I passed them. I tried to find a clear little, it was like a foot wide little stream. I was drinking out of the water, and I said, I'm gonna die if I don't drink water. So I just did it anyways. I said it's worth having diarrhea for a week for drinking water right now. Look at the snow. Look at the snow, y'all. So crazy. I just went back and rewatched some of the beginning of this video, and it's just such a contrast. Like, it was a nice, beautiful day when I first started, but look at it now. Got snow on the ground. Yeah. So, back to the Cow Creek Trail. There's a point where there was a split, and I've looked on Google Earth and Onyx, and I think this, where that split was, I went right, and if I would have went left, it would have connected up to this spot. So that's where I'm riding to, is where that connection is, to see if the trail is there, and it is. And that's where I decided to turn around. Plus, I looped my bike out, and that kind of forced me to turn around. I was like, that was a knockoff point. Turn around here. Speaking of dropping the bike, drop the bike right here. I went to just put my foot down. I went in. There was a little bit of a hole.
Caught me off guard there.
And then my foot's wedged between the bike and that log. It's like pinched in there. And then check this out. Tugger
Right
strap.
there, folks. That's what you do.
Yeah. Might be the only rider on the planet that has a tugger strap in the middle of the handlebars. Now check out my safety wire job here. That was a crew
Safety
chief.
wire. Still holding up.
Yeah, I was a Marine Corps crew chief on a helicopter. I'm a professional safety wire. I am probably the best. That master cylinder there, it's only being held on by safety wire, and I need to buy another one. But part of me is like, how much can you ride it with just being held on by safety wire? I mean, it's a rear brake. You use it. It's not like the front brake. You got to have the front. Oh yeah, been watching Cody Webb's Yamaha bike build, and that never-ending Yamaha bike build from Cody Webb. I mean, I'm a Yamaha guy, I'm not gonna lie, but it's been so awesome and fun. It's not like, he is, I think Cody himself has learned so much about building not just Yamaha, but motorcycles in general. Oh, look at this. Oh, and I bet as hard as it's been for him, it's been such a great journey for him. And I think not just because it's Yamaha, but I think people have seen him going through his evolution of having to build a bike. I know it's not a factory. Like, yes, Yamaha's giving him the bikes and all that, but it's really him. I mean, we're all hoping, as far as all the Japanese manufacturers, because there's lifelong Kawasaki guys. My buddy's a Suzuki guy. He just loves Suzuki. He only buys Suzuki. But we're all hoping that our childhood bikes that we bought, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Hondas, we're all just waiting for them to make a hard enduro style bike. And Cody's Yamaha, Cody Webb's, he won Moab. He's the first guy really bringing it for hard enduro. And we all wish him the best. And even if you're not a Yamaha fan, you just see the struggle he's going through, and you're pulling for him. It's really fun. It's entertaining. It's quite remarkable what Cody Webb is doing with his bike. I bet he's learned more about motorcycles and dirt bikes in this last year than he's ever known before in his whole career. Like, he has truly learned and how to work on his motorcycle. And it's been awesome. I mean, I'm a very good mechanic, and I know a lot of you guys are all very good mechanics, but I think Cody Webb would now be your #1 choice for a crew chief. If you could have a crew chief, it'd probably be Cody Webb right now, because he knows more about motorcycles than almost everyone. And
we're still there. All right, we're almost there.
Yeah, you're not lost. We're almost there. Don't give up hope yet. You're almost there, Georgia. Keep on going. Go a little You're going slow. That's fine. You need to speed up a little bit. Starting to get a little fatigued, though, at this point, You start getting fatigued, you can make mistakes. You ride a little bit slower, and then it just takes longer to go wherever you need to get. But back to Cody. If you haven't seen his new channel on his bike builds for his Yamaha, you would appreciate it if you've done any maintenance on your bike. He's done just about every damn thing to this YZ to get it competitive with the 300s, and he's done it because he won Moab. No, he's one of the best riders. You can be careful there. This frosty winter wonderland is gonna have an icicle right through the eye. My goggles just keep fogging up, so I gotta let them defrost a little bit there. It's making me nervous now. I'm watching the video. I'm nervous for myself. I'm like, you should have had your goggles down there, buddy. What are you doing? You just got bush whipped back there. You don't need the other cheek to get bush whipped too. Yeah, you see that?
Let's clear that.
Yeah, that little fallen tree.
To go around.
That was the go around. That little tree that was all cut up. I just went through it. That was the go around before they cut it up. Now I carry a miniature little chainsaw with me now. And oh, please put your goggles down on this one, Georgie. Do it for yourself. Do it for me. Goggles down. Yeah, all that ice going down the back of your neck there. But I carry a tiny little chainsaw. My mom, of all people, my mom gave it to me for Christmas. And at first I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, this is dumb. You know, what am I going to do with this? But it fits inside my backpack perfectly. And that sucker works. I carry 2 little batteries in there, and it's not going to cut up any of that big stuff, but all the little, like, the little branches, whenever you get to a spot and there's just these little, like, 2-inch branches kind of in the way, you can chop those up. So at the river by my house, I've kind of used it quite a bit and helped cut myself a trail through the trees. It helps prevent stuff like this from happening.
Oh, that was in the neck.
Yeah, that little branch caught me right along the neck there. I forget to make a model of it. Anyways, I'll do, when I do my gear video on what I pack when I ride, I'll bring that out. One day. I've been talking about doing a gear video, I think for 2 years, and I still haven't done it. Alright, yeah, I gotta apologize for the sound. I've moved. I was in my rig doing this voiceover. Now I'm into this room in my office, and it's echoey as heck in here, and it's driving me nuts, but bear with me and get through it. Well, I'm gonna do something about this room. I need to put a carpet in here, or do something with the walls, kind of deaden the sound in here. I'm just getting all this feedback echo. Maybe there's a plug-in I can do to de-echo the sound here. I'll figure that out. Anyways, we get to the back side of this mountain here, and you got some rocks coming up. Woo. A little technical section through here.
Well, we got bricks.
There's, oh, someone's throwing down the brick. Here's a kind of a big step down here to the left. You can see there's some old brick that someone's put there, and I just thought, like, we are out here. Where is someone hiking in with this brick? I mean, we are a long ways from your truck. Someone's hiked out here with the brick. Throw that brick down. Or are they pouring cement? Like, how are they getting these brick blocks in here to help keep the trail up? And of course, they're all broke down anyways. I mean, someone did all that work lugging it way the heck over here. I mean, that had to be hard. Talk about a job carrying brick miles. I mean, through this terrain just for that little section. Anyway, ride it as it lays, folks. That's my motto. I mean, I got a lot of them, but one of them, ride it as it lays. I like that. Now, cutting logs out, I know I don't like cutting the big logs, especially if you're gonna rate a trail, a black diamond trail. You gotta leave the big logs. Now, I don't like the little twiggy branches and the other little ones that are gonna stab you in the neck. Here, see, there's a fallen log right there. No one's cut it yet, so it's a recent fall. And the trail's there. Now we're just gonna go right on around it. Eventually, people will start going right over the top of it, and you know, it's black diamond. It's part of the game. You want to take out all the obstacles and move all the rocks and put cement blocks down. Well, just make it a blue trail then, and don't call it a black diamond. It makes me think of Pozo. When you go in Pozo, there's a place called Stair Steps, and that is really gnarly. It's a short little section, but it's really gnarly, and they just leave it as it is. Yeah, it's rock, so you're not gonna erode it that much, but it wasn't rock at one point, you know. Then you got it rudder down. Anyway, Stair Steps. If you've been out to Pozo, you know what I'm talking about. That Stair Steps, that's a doozy. That'll get you. All right, we're coming up to kind of the turnaround point of the ride, and there was a trail. I tried to go up. I looped the bike out. You'll see that coming up here. And I finally just called it a knockoff point. I was like, all right, that's enough. I've gone far enough. you don't need to be going down this trail. You don't know, unfamiliar trail, plus these conditions that I'm in. If something bad were to happen, you know, it's cloudy, covered, it's cold, and I'm out of shape, so I don't need this to be a super long ride. Sometimes I've been out for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on a ride, and today I was really just hoping for a 3-hour ride, which I rode just a little over 3 hours. Let me check OnX and see it, make sure I'm not lying to you. I love this about OnX. You can see your ride, the elevation. So I actually started at 2,700 feet today, and the highest we went up to was 7,000 feet. So that was, I can't do the math, about a mile climb up and down. So that's pretty good. Big elevation change right there. And I like having this one big thing about having the fuel injection on the bike. The computer knows what to do. The bike Trixie runs smooth all the time. Now I need to do a new top band for Trixie here. I am getting some blow by into the oil there, and I got the new piston already. It rings. I need to put that on. All right, here's the turnaround point. There's a split, and I'm like, all right, just go take a peek up here. You see how just white it is? I'm like, man, let's just go take a little peek up here. There's a little bit of chunky rocks going through, and there's a little bit of a ledge right here that I get hung up on. I'm gonna pivot over left. I'm gonna get myself set up for a 511 special here. Weight back, throw the weight forward, and I almost get it this first try. It was really close. I could have had the engine revved up a little bit more and then dropped that clutch, but didn't get it. Give it a second go here. Didn't get it. That rear tire just not helping me out here. So it's third attempt. I'm gonna give it all the beans, and I'm gonna send Trixie flying.
Didn't mean that to happen.
Oh yeah, I know.
Got away from me.
This is when I start thinking, all right, I need to call knock it off here. This is getting nuts. It's cold. I mean, it is really cold out. I'm a long ways from the truck. I just ghosted my bike down these rocks here. Something happens and she breaks. Like, that's a long hike back to the truck.
That was wild.
It's windy. Wild and windy. All right, let's get her turned back down. I'm gonna face down.
There you go.
There, just hit that, give that the old slap back in place there. And there's a chicken line you'll see. I'll get down here, I start going down, there's a little chicken line that goes around to my left right there.
Dang, I hit right there.
Yeah, I hit the brake reservoir. I gotta show you my new handlebar setup. I really like that. I got dual starts, dual on and off switches, and then I've put my throttle body underneath so it doesn't, your throttle body, the cable doesn't get hit.
A little bypass.
You know, a little cam on it. And then I've added little blocks on each side of the bar that will, if your bike goes over, it'll hit those blocks. And it did hit the blocks, so that might have helped save that reservoir. But your reservoir is pretty tight, pretty strong. But I get up here, y'all, and I'm like, what am I doing? This is where I wanted to go. I don't need to keep on going. Like, you don't need to be looping your bike out, getting stuck up here. It's ice cold up here.
Knock it off. All right, I'm going back. Sorry, y'all.
Who are you talking to there? You're just by yourself there, dummy.
Sometimes you just dig myself in too deep.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, like on that Cow Creek Trail, you just keep pushing. I'm sure you guys have all been on rides where you just keep pushing and going, and sooner or later something bad happens, and you're like, man, I should have quit while I was ahead. I still would have had a great time, and either the bike wouldn't be broken, or I wouldn't be broken, or so exhausted. But most of the time, it's just I'm so exhausted by the end of the ride. sit there. I'm like, I should have turned around like an hour sooner.
So I've not gone that way. I'll save that for another day. Back the way we came.
Damn. Alright, so we're going to go all the way back. I'm just going to show a little highlight of me going up to this rocky section there, and then I'm going to jump all the way to where that log was, where it had that split, and then we'll pick up the ride from there. So there we go. Got this little left line here, and there's that step up. If I went straight, I have to have that lip to get over, so I'm going to go a little bit left and ride this high line, carry my momentum up and over the rocks. Now it's steep. GoPro always flattens it out, but it's pretty steep there. I weighted the outside peg, so I dabbed with the left, but I kept the right foot on the peg, and she climbed right up. And my hands are cold, so I had to grab the exhaust again. Yeah, just warm up those clutch fingers. Get them nice and toasty. Yeah, get on up there, Georgie. See those, you know what I'm talking about there? Those little brick blocks I'm over at the top right now? Like, who's lugging that up here? I mean, they have like it's a county jail with the chain gang up here, and they're just making forced labor carrying bricks on trails. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Get some, gotta get a club, get in touch with the local law enforcement. You can do some community service out here and get some help. Guys that have to do community service, yeah, you're coming out to clear trails for dirt bike riders. My buddy Nick, he owns California Tiny House. He wants to make human hamster wheels for power. They call them power wheels. And your community service or your time in jail, you got to put so many hours on a power wheel, generate power for the community. I also think that's brilliant as well. All right, y'all, let's jump on ahead. This is just some cool snow riding, but we're going to jump all the way ahead to where trail split ways back, and I called it out anyways, because you've already seen all this coming the other way. Let's go.
I came through here, so now we're going to go start a new one. Got a big log to hop. Yeah, buddy.
Come on, get it, Georgie. Yeah, up and over.
Love logs.
So this way, you're gonna get to this backside here, and we're gonna start going down in altitude. Like I said, we just climbed up a mile, so we gotta go down a mile. And it is a long downhill. There's a ton of switchbacks, and my scan disc actually filled up before I got to the end there. But quail! I'm telling you, this would be a good spot to hunt some quail over here. I'm gonna do that this coming season. I think quail season starts November. It might be a little earlier for certain sections. I forget there's like 4 different areas for quail. Anyways. Gonna go over the top here, and then we're gonna start going downhill, and it is just a long series of switchbacks. Towards the bottom, they get very, very switchbacky, very tight turns, and my triceps. That's where I haven't been able to put train dips, push-ups, and dips. Get those triceps built up for those big old long downhills. I gotta get that going. Now that I did this ride, my body feels good. I did have a couple spills here at the end, and I fell on my right side. I was kind of dreading this whole ride. You know, if you get an injury, falling on that injury. But I fell on my right side, and no problem. It's all good. So I was super stoked that even falling on my right side, nothing hurt. So I still got some, it's been a couple days. It was pretty darn sore, and my shoulder there is some soreness in it right now, but I think that's just normal from, you're using muscles I haven't used in a long time. Look at all these cut up logs. Oh, come on, leave them. Leave one at least. Just leave one log in there for me.
Yeah, leave those logs in.
Yeah. Trail fairies, they're busy little bodies though. They're out doing their thing. As soon as that snow clears up, they get to work. start this, I mean, I've come down already quite a bit, but start the big downhill switchback, and I'll get out of the clouds here in a minute, and it'll clear up. Snow disappeared, and it warms up quite a bit. It feels really good. Because I was cold. My arms all wet, my legs are wet, my feet, my boots are full of water, and I don't even know how that all worked out, but the ice just melted and went right through me. It was cold. I was at this point getting tired, and I was like, oh, I get home-itis, you know. There's a great burrito spot. So if you guys come up here, you can see the clouds starting to break up right there. It's starting to come beneath the clouds there. And the temperature just shoots up. I'm like, oh man, this feels good. As soon as you get out of that cloud layer. But if you guys come down here after your ride, I highly recommend going to this little Mexican food place. It's called El Porto Mexican Grill. And they have this super burrito. It's a wet burrito there. They smother it on top. But it is enormous. It is 20. Oh, tight, narrow box. It is enormous. It's $20, and it's easily 2 full meals. Like, I ate half of it. Even after this big old ride, I ate half of it. It is massive, but totally worth it. And get the carne asada, because that's the best. All right, coming up here, I am going to have my first legit spill. Not a hard fall, just a spill to my right-hand side. And there was a rock there, which you see it happens so quick, it doesn't look like much, but to me when you're riding, it always feels like slow motion. And I fell to the right, and the right side didn't feel nothing. It felt great. I was like, all right, get the fear over it. I remember when I hurt my tailbone 2 years ago, and
out of the clouds.
Yeah, it warmed up there. And when I finally fell on my butt, it didn't hurt. I was nervous about the whole ride until I finally fell, and then it didn't hurt. So that felt good. So same thing happens here. This whole time, I'm still worried about my right-hand side, and I finally fall on it. As soon as I fall and recover, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm in the clear. I can start riding. And here it is. Take this left line. My front tire darts into that bush. And then I fall on the right, and there's that big rock there. I don't know if I would have hit that rock if things would have been different, but I landed in the dirt, just grazed that rock. Then it hurt, laughed it off, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, that was the test.
It was almost a disaster.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's almost a disaster. So if I would have face planted into that rock, I'd probably be singing a different tune right now. All right, let's get it first right there, and then I'm just gonna pivot it over. I'm off the bike. I'm just gonna a little wheelie pivot. Boom, get back on the bike. Then it hurt. Like, it was a big thing to fall. If you guys ever had a bad injury and then you're nervous about re-injuring it, you know, and so that was good. That actually falling built my confidence. The opposite way you'd think it would, yeah, because I didn't hurt. But we got a long ways to go. There's a ton of switchbacks, and they just keep on going. It drags out, and you kind of get over them after a while. You're like, especially a long ride, and you're just like, just get back to the truck. I'm gonna go get that super burrito from El Porto Mexican Grill. I mean, I'm already salivating over it right now. I'm like, it's gonna be so good. And I gotta deal with all these damn switchbacks. There's a little bit of a rocky, chattery section. And just a lot of chatter in there, and get through that. Oh, don't forget, I get it off the video, and I just want to bring this up. Now, when you get down, you zigzag all the way down, and it's on the flat ground again. And there's some Jeep roads you can take out, and I think you go through some private property, so don't do that. The trail actually hugs left on the mountain line, and you go back up a little canyon, you go up the next little ridge, and then it drops down, and then you're free sailing back to your truck. So I try to avoid private property when I can. You know, you don't want to piss off those guys, and then they'll complain to the county, and then they shut everything down. So whenever you get to private property, always respect it or avoid it if you can. Told you folks, it's just down, down, down. Just zigzag, switchback, 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 down, down, down. Some of these switchbacks are real tight. You're like full lock. Even then, you don't even make it.
Tight turn.
Yeah, it's a tight turn. Doing the old tire wag over there. Get that front end down a little bit more. This part of the trail reminds me of the snowy trail that I did. You go down this canyon down to this river, and they're just a series of switchbacks that are just like full lock turn, every single one. And some you can't even turn. You got to do the old pivot around the opposite way to get down. Anyways, folks, we're getting close to the end, and I wanted to say a couple things. It's been a long time, and a lot of thanks to y'all writing me, asking me how I was doing from my injury, and it's been great. It's been uplifting, very motivational, and it is great knowing we have this great community of riders. Everyone knows it's dangerous, and if you race, you know, a lot of us are putting a lot on the line.
Straight down back there.
And people know that, so it's been great, and I just want to say I appreciate it. Not done racing though. Everyone asked me if I was going to throw in the bike. I was like, heck no, I couldn't wait to get back out on the bike. And we got some big races coming up. I'm doing Silver Kings. Yeah, it's been 2 years since the last time we did Silver Kings, and I was not prepared. So I think I'm a much better rider here. I can't say my conditioning is going to be that much better, but we'll work on it. And then we're doing Dawn right after that. So really excited about Silver Kings though. They've added it on part of the World Championship Series this time. So all the big European dogs. Yeah, this is a nasty switchback. Real steep down on going left. Just stay in control, let it roll. Nicely done there, Georgie. But all the big dogs, Manny Ledbeckler, Billy Bolt will be there, Mario, all the big guys. They got a big cash prize, $100,000 for first, or probably divvied up. I don't think it's for only for first, but $100,000 in cash prizes. That's the largest ever for hard enduro, which is amazing because most races, honestly, you know, they're like under 20,000 bucks. So that's pretty cool to see. Got some training to do though before that all happens, so hopefully we get out riding a bunch, get some good training in, some good videos coming your way. Trixie here might be in her last month. I think I'm getting a new bike. I might have the new bike ready to go for Silver Kings. So if everything goes good, that'll happen, y'all, and you'll see what I'm gonna get. Well, I think you already know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a new Husqvarna, the TE300, and we got to get her all hard enduroed out and ready to go. That's a really sharp turn right here, y'all. Look at this turn. Full lock. Still not making it. By this point in the ride, you're tired as hell, so you don't want to make a mistake. But anyways, y'all, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Until the next video comes out, get out, ride, and get some. Ew!
Hit it, rocks.